Well, a couple thoughts, and I'm sure you're going to have some questions because I've got my fair share of thoughts. First of all, here's what factually happened. Gio comes in the game. I wasn't aware at the moment. I just caught the end of it. Now I'm more privy to how it unfolded. My initial reaction was Joe comes over, walks over to Gio. I don't know what it's really in regard to. It's uncharacteristic. I walk out, see what's going on. He said he needs to change hats. Turns out that Dan Bellino had watched Gio come in the game and then goes over to Joe, whispers the ear. Joe goes to the mound and then, listens that Gio needs to change his hat. So why do I take exception with that? Because this is baseball's dirty little secret, and it's the wrong time in the wrong arena to expose it. Because here's the, and make sure I get my words right, because I got a decent chance of getting fined, and my wife Michelle will, gosh darn it, it's for the integrity of the game, but anyway, here's the deal. First of all, Gio wears the same hat all year, okay? Hats accrue dirt. Hats accrue substances, like just stuff, We pitched in a day game. So did Gio have some sunscreen at some point in his career to change his, make sure he doesn't get some kind of melanoma? Possibly. Does he use rosin to help out? Possibly. Are these things that baseball really wants to crack down on? No, it's not. I know that completely firsthand from the commissioner's office. That is not anything that's going to affect his ability to compete. And it was interesting with my buddy Ernie Moore, our traveling secretary. He goes, man, a new hat didn't really seem to affect Gio's stuff too much. So that part was nice to see. So now let's get to the genesis of this conversation. And this is the part that Major League Baseball's got a very, very, very tough position here, because there are people that are effectively and not even trying to hide, essentially flipping the bird at the league with how they're cheating in this game with concocted substances. There are players that have been monetized for it. There are players that are obviously doing it, going to their glove. There's clear video of it. You can tell the pitchers that are doing it because they don't want to go to their mouth, which Gio does off the rubber. And understandably, and I know comfortably, Major League Baseball is trying their best to do it in a manner that doesn't create any black eye for the integrity of the game that we love. But speaking of integrity, how about the integrity of the guys that are doing it clean? How about the guys that are pitching their tails off in Major League Baseball and doing it clean, that have an unfair competitive advantage for the guys that are clearly loading up with concoctions that they actually advertise, don't do anything to hide, even in plain view? That's the guys I'm speaking for. I'm speaking up for the hitters that have a living to make facing stuff that's already really, really good. And you can see, based on spin rates, how guys' careers are jumping off the charts. And then you can do cause and effect. Now, I don't want to look, is our house 100% clean? I certainly hope so. Am I creating more of an opportunity? Because I just spoke to our pitchers. Am I creating more of awareness to our group? Potentially. But let's go check the guys that are sitting there going to their glove every day with filthy stuff coming out, not some guy before he's even stepped on the mound with a spot on his hat. That's how you want to start policing this? And unfortunately, that's how this is going to start. Now, maybe this is a crescendo for things to come. But can I tell you 100% that all our guys are 100% clean with nothing, other than some sunscreen and some rosin, which the hitters don't mind, by the way, because they want the grip, which is why we don't want the guys getting, hit in various spots with big arms. Hitters don't mind the grip. They don't want the stuff that's making the ball do wiffle ball stuff. And that's the issue at hand here. So you want to police some sunscreen and rosin? go ahead, get every single person in this league. Hit by pitches will just continue to go up. Balls will get away. But why don't you start with the guys that are cheating with some stuff that are really impacting the game and impacting how people play this game? And that's the integrity of the game I'll speak up for. Popular, I really don't care. It's accurate.
When you took your hat off, what got you kicked out? Did you offer your hat to when you took your hat off? Is that what did it? Yeah.
I think I said some inappropriate language that did that. I was gonna give my hat to Gio, but I didn't get that far.
Okay, you were done before that.
Yeah, and then I got sidetracked. But I was gonna switch hats with him, but I didn't get that far.
What did Joe say to you?
Look, Joe, and understand this, Joe. Do I agree with the timing of it? Do I agree that it looked like something that didn't taste real good or feel real good or felt like a setup, to be honest with you? And again, it just came out of nowhere. To a guy that does go to his fingers that's been filthy and was filthy after it. Check his spin rates on his stuff, 6-pitch, 8th, maybe not enough data. But do I blame him for upholding something that they have a responsibility to do? I don't blame him at all. Now let's do it around the whole league when guys are going their gloves. Now let's really do it. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't the right time, in my opinion, for that to happen. But now you've opened it up. So let's go. Let's get in some people. We got these guys going around locker rooms. Really? What are they doing? We're in the end of May. You want to talk about sample size, collecting data, collecting video? Well, let's see it. He kept him in the game, but kept him in the game from what? Because he had a dirty hat? Wayno's got a dirty hat. It just felt look, he comes out of the bullpen and he's targeted for whatever reason, initially. But I do appreciate the fact he gave him the opportunity to stay in the game. And that's one of the reasons he's had as distinguished career as he had. I'm not faulting Joe at all. And, because they chose to enforce something that, looked somewhat suspicious to them. They have and that's part of their job to police the game. And I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not challenging that. I'm only challenging the fact that there's much more egregious things happening in real time that aren't being challenged. That's my only consideration. So really, Joe doing his part, I have no issue with it.
Mike, was this topic at all part of the conversation you had with the commissioner yesterday when he was in the ballpark?
I spoke with the commissioner's office yesterday about it. I didn't speak with the commissioner about it. I had a good conversation about how our game is doing a lot of positive things. And this is the thing that I want to make sure that is also heard in this. I don't view this as it's a tough spot for Major League Baseball. They don't want any other. I don't either for the game that I love. All right. Baseball just wants a fair game. It's a tough situation. There's a lot of different things in play here. And so I do believe, in all honesty, Major League Baseball is doing as much as they can and trying to uphold both the integrity of the game and then also make sure they're doing it without having it be so public. All right. But the fact of the matter is, there's players that continue to do it and are ignoring strong warnings. And so I don't want this to be a public black eye for Major League Baseball, but I actually think if it cleans up, people appreciate the integrity of the side of it. People know that there's just people in industries that are always looking for an edge. We look for an edge every single day, and don't get me wrong, and it's a healthy thing to do, but there's a line.
Could this perhaps be a reason for you to initiate some of these reviews from your dugout? Would that be a consideration if this is the standard?
Potentially. We haven't, and I think that's on record too. We've chosen hard some days to look up and realize that maybe somebody's doing something that you're not, having a competitive advantage. But and that's part of the frustration of this conversation is have had games where you go, that didn't seem like a fair deal. And you get some frustrated people that go, man, where's the integrity of this? And I have responsibility to our clubhouse ultimately, but also responsibility to make sure we're running a clean ship too. And I can tell you we're running as clean as possible. And are we, like I said, the rise in sunscreen, does that happen? I'm sure it does, happens everywhere. But I'm talking about we're not we're not pushing the other stuff. And I think you get my points.
Thank you.
Andrew Seligman, Chicago Associated Press.
Yeah, hi, Mike. In light of this, will you now be telling your pitchers, hey, be careful about, the bill of your cap, make sure it's clean, make sure there's nothing on there? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the DeWitts will have to, they're great. They can support us completely. They'll just have to get us more hats.